Hello, and welcome to another first impression video. I'm Drew Wilson from FreezeNet. Today we're going to be playing the 2007 Xbox 360 game Forza Motorsport 2. This is the second installment to this franchise. So, I've got 10 minutes on the clock. Let's check this one out. And before I begin, I just wanted to do a quick note. I attempted to play the original Forza Motorsport, and it's supposed to be backwards compatible, and I've literally tried everything to get the thing to run. Tried update every update I can imagine. Nothing worked. It just wouldn't, like, the system wouldn't even upgrade or update. Okay, there we go. So right trigger to accelerate, and okay, so left trigger to brake. Good. So yeah, I've tried everything to get the original one to work, and I love going kind of, working on like the games as they progress, so you can kind of get an idea of the evolution. But unfortunately, I couldn't quite get to the very beginning of the series as a result of this. And so here I am playing the second one. Oh, there's penalties. Interesting. Alright. So one of the things I did notice about the one of the other games, Gran Turismo, is it wasn't really penalties necessarily to work with, and so sometimes you just end up going a little bit in the grass every once in a while, and yeah, I'm sure there's a difficulty setting. There's probably lots of settings in there that allows you to do that. That has a million settings. But yeah, and the easy setting on this game, that's on. So I find that kind of interesting right off the bat. And just so you know, this is actually on the easiest setting. According to the system, it's like if you have no experience playing Forza Motorsport at all, use that setting. So this is the first Forza game I've ever played, so of course I'm going to use that setting. But one thing I didn't know for sure is, does the skill I kind of got from Forza or Gran Turismo, because I played the first 6 games now, does that necessarily translate to having some skill on this game? I do not know, but so far it looks like it does, because I'm easily ahead. Yeah, I think this is, technically this is supposed to be a simulation. 5G flawless lap, cool. This is supposed to be a simulation racing game, and I've played my share of them, but I figured on top of that, maybe you would benefit if maybe you're not quite into simulation racing games, then maybe like showing you the easiest setting would be good. So you do get a penalty for racing this on the easy setting, so that's good to know. I was kind of wondering what other penalties there were besides, I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about now. But yeah, so that's interesting. They're certainly learning a lot right now, right off the bat, and it's a fairly easy, fairly straightforward race, which is something I like to see as like a first game, or first, if you've never played the game before, that's what you're introduced to. You're from level 2, probably next race. Unless the difficulty ramps up, I'm probably good. You start off with 11,000 credits, and you basically choose a car at level 0, I guess. And I chose the most expensive one, the VW Golf 2006. It seemed to have good steering, and other games I've played often tends to be a good starter car, so that's why I ended up going with it. And I figured too, if there are upgrades to this game that you can put on your car, just like, I hate to constantly refer to Gran Turismo, but like Gran Turismo, if there's upgrades, then You also have a pretty good base car to kind of get some more bang for your buck, and you can probably squeeze out a number of races if you have a good base before having to actually, upgrade. So right there was a little bit of contact, and looks like you also get penalty for that. And I noticed that there's a damage penalty as well. So if you nick and scratch your car, there is penalties in this particular game. And I think it was Gran Turismo 2? No. I think it was Gran Turismo 4 where they started simulating damage, and you could get lower performance if you damage your vehicle. And by default, that is off. So you can still kind of get the easy thing. But apparently in this game, that is on as well. So I guess all the experience of at least trying to avoid collisions might come in handy here. It's a fairly straightforward race for sure. 3 laps, so that's a pretty standard race. So I think with all the ways you can get penalties, that does have an effect on strategy for these games. Instead of possibly shoving your opponent into the dirt, then yeah, you're gonna have to maybe not do that so much. And just rely on sticking to the road, staying in your lane, that sort of thing. All right. So another lap. So I'm curious what that little bump would actually do in terms of damage penalty 0, car rarity bonus 20. A little surprised I didn't get any damage penalty. That's for sure. All right, trigger. Wow, that did not register at all. So maybe it would require much better impact. So some of the looks of things, it seems like, hey, damage penalty does happen, but it might be require a little bit more of rigorous hitting, which I don't mind. So that just means that there's more give in the difficulty. European discount. Additional support from the manufacturers. Now you receive 10% discount on production cars from Europe. Okay, so that's interesting. Is there... I vaguely remember the odd racing game here and there does that, where if you do well, you get discount. I just can't remember what games those were. It's probably going to be really obvious after I finish playing this game, but I don't know. I can't remember offhand. So when I started this game, I kind of flashed through it pretty quickly, but there were like classes of races you can enter, and it seems like the first 3 depends on where you bought the car. So you're always going to be stuck with one, it seems. One little set of races. Did I restart by accident? I may have restarted by accident. If I did, I will. No, I did not. So there's a series of races for sure. Okay. So let's avoid contact if possible. Unfortunately, going double up like that does make it a little bit more difficult. All right. I don't know if streamlining is possible. All right, let's do a later break. Okay, that helps a lot. So I can tell that there's also some give with these race lines. So if it tells you to brake like at a certain period, doesn't necessarily mean you absolutely must brake at that specific part of the track. But obviously don't overdo it either. It's just about testing your car's limits. So if I do that, I will still be able to make the turn relatively easily. And for those of you who are not really into racing but want to try and get into it, you don't necessarily have to brake for every corner. You can just simply let off the accelerator, and you can more easily make the turns anyway. Obviously, do that for like gentle turns that might otherwise be somewhat problematic for turning. So, yeah, braking isn't always necessary, although obviously for the larger, heavier turns it is. All right, flawless race, cool. And that is an interesting look into this game. I was kind of just expecting like maybe just a general like standard racing game with nothing too crazy different about it, but there's definitely a lot of differences I'm noticing between some of the other simulation racing games in this game. So I'm gonna be curious to see how does that play out necessarily. Or if it does play out at all, I don't know. But certainly a lot of interesting mechanics involved there. Congratulations first. That's a good screen to leave off on. So wanted to hear from you, actually. For those of you who have played this game before, what did you think of this particular game? Was it a good entry to the series? Or did you think that maybe the developers are just kind of finding their footing still? Or, you know, was it actually something that really helped make this game, this franchise, what it is, and this really got its name out, the franchise's name out there? Yeah, let us know in the comments below what you thought about that. For those of you who haven't played this particular game in the franchise but have played other games, I'm curious to know, does this look like an interesting game to you? Is it an interesting look into maybe some of the origins of this particular franchise? Let us know as well. And if you haven't played this game, I wanted to hear from you. Does this look like an interesting game to you? Or are you just maybe simulation racing games isn't your thing? Or maybe this looks like a dime a dozen game and you have other racing games in your mind that you'd rather play, or maybe this is actually the game you want to play and really check out and look into it. Yeah, let us know in the comments below what you think. Yeah, and so if you want to help support this channel, there is plenty of ways to do that. You can just drop us a like and let us know, hey, you're doing a great job, keep up the good work. And if you want to help us out even further, you can also subscribe to the YouTube channel. And subscriptions do help, and you can also turn on notifications, get real-time updates on what videos we posted, and it's honestly the fastest free way you can find out about our videos. And if you don't want to turn on notifications, that's fine too. Subscription does help us out though, so something to consider. And if you want to also further support us, you can check out our website at freezenet.ca, and it has all these cool music reviews, cool video game reviews, and has a whole bunch of news that's going on in the world of technology and your digital rights, privacy, security, a whole bunch more interesting topics. So work hard on maintaining the news section there, so something to check out if you're interested in that. Alternatively, you can also check out our wiki, and that has about 3,500 pages, close to it anyway, of content. So you can explore music you might not have otherwise heard of before, and it's really open. It's like basically the music reviews without me reviewing anything. It's just no opinion. This is what what music is out there, and you can find out for yourself what you like and what you might not like. So it's a really cool adventure in the world of music, at the very least. So if you want to more directly support us, you can check out our Patreon page at patreon.com/freezenet, and through that you can subscribe to a tier and get like cool insider information. Like, patrons knew that we're gonna be checking out Forza Motorsport 2 for the first time. So if you want that insider information, that's the way to get it. And there's other perks too. You can get reviews ahead of time. So we do schedule reviews ahead of time, but if you want to get access to them early, that's a good way to do it. And also you get our podcast early as well. And if Patreon isn't your thing, you can try our coffee page at coffee.com/freezenet. It's just a one-time tip jar type of deal. So every dollar does count. So yeah, I guess that is all for now. And until next time, keep it cool.